This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, LowcoSports fans. Welcome to another edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. I am Justin Jarrett, joined as always, or at least usual, by Wes Kerr, almost always at least. And Wes, we got a great show lined up tonight. We got a few guests that are solid, a couple others that we're hoping will make it in with us. They're going to try, they're efforting. We will say we've efforted them and they are efforting to get in with us, but we got a few things on the docket, including some headlines, including USCB soccer, which just went to overtime. We were just watching it here in studio, and we can pop it back up on the screen if they get back to action. It's been a thriller so far.
Yeah.
You were at Bridges Prep Volleyball on Saturday. Unfortunately, a runner-up finish, but terrific effort all season from that team, and really enjoyed getting to cover them and getting to know them a little bit here in the postseason. That was outstanding. I know you had a great time on the Spirit Bus, and it's always fun to cover a state.
And great to see that kind of support. You know,
I
was
absolutely.
really proud, and I tweeted about it after the match was over, but the student support, the community support was outstanding. And, you know, all the way through this match, we were in Let's Go Bucks from the stands, and the energy was just incredible, and put up a heck of a fight. They nearly clawed their way back. They had a lead in the second set, and it just slipped away. A couple of mishits, and they had those middle hitters were just on another level for St. Joe. So that is a dynastic team. They won a bunch, and you know, it's certainly difficult to knock them out. And I mean, they gave them the best shot. I think they played a strong match overall. Certainly, I thought the nerves got to them a little bit early, and they got behind quickly, and it's just hard to be able to recover against such a strong team like that. But I thought they handled themselves really well. And, you know, to get to this point, as we say, as coaches after the game, only two teams can make it to the last game, last match, and they're one of them. So what a tremendous run, and it was just such a great time to go up there and you know, head over on that Spirit Bus, and just took me back to my days at high school when I did that, and was part of being in the student section, whether it was soccer, whether it was volleyball, in those state championship matches. And it's a special feeling. It's you know, the excitement certainly builds, and they certainly, you know, put themselves well established, and you know, I thought it was a strong showing. And that's
really young team too,
Yeah.
right? Like no seniors basically.
Yeah.
I thought, if I'm
a couple
not
of seniors,
just a couple, pretty young team. So should be there for a while. And like you said, I mean, St. Joseph's is we talk about Oceanside and Gray and 2A. St. Joseph's and Southside Christian are kind of the same thing in 1A, where it's almost not a fair fight in some sports where they have the market cornered, and that's one of them. So great showing by Bridges, and certainly that's a program on the rise. And I'm sure a lot of those girls are basketball players too. So should be an exciting. Hopefully that carries over into basketball for them.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little football later. We got some friends coming by to talk football with us, and we'll talk some hoops because it's almost time. Robbie Benson going to jump on with this. And if Carlo can get on, he's on the road to Biloxi for a big card down there with Jorge Masvidal. But if he can get a signal, he's going to get on and tell us about fights at the Foundry this past weekend. That were pretty cool, I guess. So we'll hear about all of that, but also cross-country qualifiers. I haven't really dug into it much. I know I saw a bunch of our locals qualified. Have you gotten into that yet, Wes?
Yeah, this was the lower state qualifying meets for the high school league before the state meet, and you know, it's one of those events where you want to be peaking, you want to be running at your best pace at that time, these last 2 weeks of the season, and this is the time to do it. So I'm excited to see what happens next week in this state tournament, but in the state meet. But you know, great results here. Great results here from these squads. As pull up the results here in a second.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them pulled up, but they're janky.
Erlon Baker, the top 5 finish in the No, they have them.
They had the even and odd
odds.
thing. Yeah.
But how about Bluffton with 3 in the top 10? Erlon Baker, 1636. Boyd Collins and Cooper Anderson. So 2 juniors and a sophomore. I'm really impressed with how quickly that Bluffton program has come along. We've seen
no question. Yeah, I mean they've been good over the years. Dana House knows what she's doing. They won some state championships back in the day before the school split. So I'm not surprised to see them doing well. I mean, there was a period there where Bluffton was churning out kids that were going to USCB and competing for, state or conference and national championships with a bunch of Bluffton kids on those teams. So, I mean, if it's cross country, as you know, it's an effort thing. Like if you just put in the work, you'll get pretty good at it. If you have the right build and a lot of different builds can take to it. You just have to put in the mileage and put in the work. And if you have a coach who knows how to put you on a training regimen that is the most beneficial, like Bill Wrightson did at Hilton Head for years, and
Speaking of these results, how about May River, Noah Wasserman winning the odd heat with a 16-24. So certainly not the deepest in terms of team results, but what a finish there from Noah Wasserman, topping that heat in 16-24.
Outstanding stuff.
That is amazing stuff there.
Bluffton girls were third in their race, although their top finisher was Avania Hale at 14th. So they were really strong, depth-wise, but they just don't have quite a top end. And then it doesn't look like, then May River and Hilton Head girls were down there a ways. So area has fallen off a little bit in cross country, it would seem, but Bluffton seems to have kind of picked it up.
It's Lucy right back in James Island right now.
No doubt.
Those two schools have become quite the competitors to our Lowco squads. As USCB trying to mount an attack, overtime underway.
Oh, it is.
Lander. Yeah.
Sure enough. We'll get it up here. We'll watch it with the people.
Tell you what, the resolve from this USCB team after coming from behind, give up the first goal in around the 76th minute. It was a great pass towards the middle of the box and found Thompson over the top. Just beat the USCB defender to the ball, and that was the first goal. And then the Sand Sharks tied a sensational cross from Sinbai Anderson, who has been just a master this year at creating offense with her passing, and she finds Savannah Page, who continues her clutch factor. I believe that I think that tied her in goals with Calvatin. I think that may have been her 10th goal of the season. Yeah. Obviously, that's pretty impressive stuff, because we've talked about Calvatin being a legendary producer and scorer for this program. Obviously, the record holder in goals, assists, and points for this program. But Savannah Page, she's still very young, but she is growing to her own, but exactly what this offense is needed. So she's been excellent. The defense has really fought hard in this game. Emily Worrell's made a couple of big saves, although see if she can keep it up here.
Yeah, I may have to face a shot here. Is Zelta Antia on the cross-country front? Is Zelta Antia from Beaufort, 9th grader, finished 3rd in her race in 2018. Gavin Moore was 11th in his race. So I believe they both qualified for state. Gavin ran 1740, solid.
Yeah.
And then I know that the Hampton County teams also qualified in 2A.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, I mean, we've definitely given a lot of that football team, but great to see some of the other squads over there for the Hurricanes get some nice results, and that's cool to see. Share some love to the 2A programs.
Well, and you know who coaches them? Coach Hannah's wife.
Very nice. What a coaching duo right there. Both having
I believe it's Mariah. I believe. Yeah, they're something else. They're a dynamic duo. They do a lot for that community. It's really cool.
That's great. Speaking of which, I had so much fun with that first live show we did at the Hurricane Sports Bar.
We're gonna have to play the highlights from that. Goodness, that was a blast.
One time was fantastic.
Jarrett's telling his stories. Like, Randy Vaughn from Hampton, 8th grader. Randy Vaughn finished 12th in the girls' race. That's outstanding. 21:39, and then Taryn Hannah, 10th grader, was 18th. So good stuff there.
Back to Thompson.
This has been quite a battle here, man.
Yeah.
So when did I picked it up late? I picked it up after it was 1-1. So when did Lander score? Did they score in the first
Lander
half?
Scored it was with 15 minutes to go. USCB.
Okay, so both the goals came late.
Yeah, both the goals came very late. It was tight in the first half. Didn't see many clear scoring opportunities. Both defenses kind of were tough, and then it opened up a bit as we got to the second half, and the passing started to improve for both those teams. And the Sand Sharks once again with great resolve after find themselves down 1-0. After I thought they handled themselves well. I think we talked about with Bracken when the keys was to survive those first 20-30 minutes or so of the game, and they did that. And I thought Leah White was terrific. I thought a couple of those other defenders who we've mentioned all year long. Kenny Harris did get beat for that goal, but she was solid, as well as Adriana Martin, and they've got so many great defenders they can rely on. And Sinbai Anderson has looked really good. Marcella Chartuni, man, her speed is something to behold. Anytime she gets the ball at her feet, and we're all holding strong. Very, very dependable keeper. So I just love the vibes that I'm getting from this team about that resilient effort, and we've kind of seen that all year long, how they've been able to come up with some clutch goals when they need to. And it seems like Bonnie Anderson has been the centerpiece of all of them, whether it's setting them up or scoring them. She has been that clutch go-to player that they've needed to. Although,
who needs the Manning cast when you got the Lowco Lowdown live with USCB soccer in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, nothing better than this. Yeah, Jimmy Searson coming on.
Jimmy's here.
Jimmy
talk with us. Well,
we had a nice.
Jimmy, we're watching football right now. USCB is in overtime at Lander.
The other football.
USCB is in OT at Lander.
Oh, okay.
And I think we're about to.
You're a big soccer fan. We've talked to you during that great run for the boys soccer team last spring that made the state championship match. So I'm sure you got into that, didn't you?
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. How
you doing, bud?
Say again.
Oh, how you doing?
Good. How y'all doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Had a great softball practice tonight. Now I'm hanging out with my friends, watching USCB soccer. Gonna talk about some football and basketball. It's good. Life is good, man.
Yeah.
It's cold outside though. It's getting cold.
Yeah.
And now we got another friend.
Oh.
We're gonna bring him in if his connection's good over there. We got Carlo Perruzza. Carlo, we're watching soccer in the background, but USCB in overtime at Lander. I'm gonna try to do something about your background noise here. That's bad. But tell us about the fights over in Beaufort the other night.
Yeah, so wonderful fights over in Beaufort. Beaufort Brawl 3. Can't believe there's 3 events now within the last year. Abe Stem doing a wonderful job out there. Fully amateur card. I think in total there's probably like 15 or 16 bouts. And one of the cool things that Abe does is a little mix of everything. He had some mixed martial art contests in there. He had some kickboxing contests in there. And he also had some jiu-jitsu matches. So it was a little bit of everything. A lot of guys from the Foundry, some good performances. One guy that I want to talk about here is Jaden Lane, a kickboxer. He had a very tough fight, fought against a guy who came from upstate karate up in Greenville, a guy that's coached by Stephen Thompson, who's one of the bigger names in the UFC. And, it was an absolute slugfest. Jaden won the first round. Second round, he was doing really, really good. And he got dropped with a really nice leg kick and almost got knocked out. He came up on the 8 count. And usually in a boxing setting, if you get knocked down like that, that's usually a 10-8 is how you score that for whoever knocked down their opponent. So that hurt him. And then in the third round, Jalen won the round. He looked good. And the match ended up being a draw. So no winners or losers in that one, but a great night of fights. I think a very cool thing, the main character of the show, the night agent, Gabriel Basso, fought in the card. I mean, you have this huge Hollywood actor, fighting in a kickboxing contest, which was pretty cool.
That's wild.
Yeah, he looked good too. I mean, he fought a very tough guy. He thought he was going to try and take the guy out, but as he told me in the interview, he said he landed shots against him that would put Shrek out, but he couldn't take out this former Marine. So he thought that it was a great fight. It was pretty cool. I heard Keanu Reeves apparently watched the fight over the stream, so that was kind of cool. Yeah, big Hollywood actor like that.
Who you got in there?
Keanu Reeves. Very nice. Got some big time stars watching over there.
Absolutely. No, some very big time stars. Yeah. But it was a great night of fights all around. And now we're in the car, me and my buddy Chase, and we're off to Pensacola, Florida tonight, but we're going to Biloxi, Mississippi tomorrow. Big fight week. Corey Masvidal's promotion, Game Bred Bare Knuckle, has some very big fights this weekend, so I'm going out there covering it. Roy Nelson versus Alan Belcher, 2 former UFC greats, going to get in the cage and do some bare knuckle action. So a lot of fun stuff in store here in the world of combat sports.
Right on. You saw Will Spann the other week too, right? He got choked out, right? I don't think we talked to you on here since then.
Yeah, Will Spann. He faced a tough guy, Cameron Sandoval, but if I'm not mistaken, what I've heard is I'm pretty sure he popped his elbow out or shoulder out. Something happened to him in that fight, which was unfortunate for him. But great effort as always from Will, but it just didn't go his way. But we got one of them, Lewis Glover. He fought on that same card, and he got his hand raised at the end. So it's great to see at least one win come out the Foundry.
Awesome stuff. All right, man. Well, we'll let you focus on driving and get safely to Pensacola, but we appreciate the update.
All right, guys.
Got to keep us posted on the fight game.
Absolutely.
See you well, Carlo.
See you, fight doctor. This guy's closing in on his PhD, fellas. It's getting real close. I'm going to edit a dissertation this week. All right, he's so close. Fantastic. And we have another friend joining us momentarily, but I got to shout out some sponsors first. We got our MVP sponsors, starting, of course, with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, and she started the real estate game back in April, and now she's jumping out on her own with some friends, starting their own group with Keller Williams Realty, and she would love to help you find your place in the Lowco. So, this holiday season, if people are talking about maybe moving down here, family members, let them know about Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She'll help them find a spot here in the Lowco, and then we'll call on Homegrown Home Inspections to look it over for us. We'll have Jan and his team take a look top to bottom, make sure that is a great investment that you're making in the Lowco real estate market. And when we're sure that it's good, after the official home inspectors of LowcoSports have checked it out, we'll call on Mickelson Law Firm. We'll go over there to sign the papers with the official real estate closing attorneys of LowcoSports and our original sponsor since 2016. And I see the second overtime's about to begin, so we'll check in on that too. But Ryan and Tiffany have been with us since the start. great supporters, great community leaders, and we really appreciate all their support over the years, and they will help you with all your legal needs. And then Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, just a tremendous nonprofit organization here in our community that provides hospice care, palliative care, free grief counseling, and many other services, all, without coming out of pocket, because they're raising so much money with their great events out here. So go ahead and mark your calendars. Make sure you don't miss the yacht hop this summer, because if you missed it before, you don't want to miss it again, because hospice parties are awesome. Because at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors. And now we welcome in the man, the myth, the legend, Jaden Andrews. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hello.
Another big game for you this week. You guys went on the road and picked up the W in the playoffs. You're still the champ, still somebody knocks you off, and you had a big game with 4 touchdowns. So, tell us a little bit about the game up at Loris and how you guys were able to respond after falling behind early and take control of that game.
So like the game, like the beginning part, we faced like a bunch of adversity and stuff. Like we were getting plays wrong, missing blocking assignments, stuff like that. And once we started like getting to like actually like, focusing and like dialing, I just think like the bus ride just got us like mixed up in the beginning. And once we started like getting the plays down and just executing, all we had to do was execute, and we'll just keep getting yards, throw the ball. Mario's gonna go doing good at throwing. Mari Patterson getting plays down.
Yeah.
Elias Johnson, he was getting good blocks down and stuff. And overall, like we just have to like have a better like start than rather than have to come back at the end, so we can have like better opportunities in like the rest of the game. And other teams that are like better as well, just like further plus like we can't start off like how we did against Loris. So
you definitely can't do that against Crestwood, because you did it last year against Crestwood and they about got you.
Yeah, last year, really close.
Yeah, Jaden, congratulations. Heck of a way to start the playoffs. And, tell me more about that offensive line, because certainly you talked about how you guys just weren't executing early, but were able to find it, as you got further into the game. And you just told me about Adrian Lamb and how the offensive line has really done a good job these last few games of being able to lock down those blocks and give you room to do your thing out there.
Yeah, like I give like really all my credit to my offensive line. Like we have a freshman at our center, Andre. We have a couple people that are coming, like second stringers that are starting out because of injuries. Then we have Sean Speaks, right tackle, Agent left tackle, and basically without them, like anything couldn't be possible. So I give all my credit to them. And like when we're in huddles or on the sideline, we just have to make sure like everything is executed right, because one block can either turn a play into a 4-yard gain or a 40-yard like touchdown, whatever. Right. And also to mention like Aiden Priester as well, like he's been doing great blocking and just route running in general. And once we get like our offensive line scheme down, we can just run the same plays over and over. We can basically tell them to play and they just have to stop it, but they can't if we just hit our blocks and execute.
Saw that at the state championship game last year. Jimmy, you got any questions for Jaden Andrews? You definitely have seen more of him than anybody.
Yeah, I'll just say, Jaden, congrats on the great season so far. And I've been very impressed with you. I know you had almost 140 yards against Loris with 4 touchdowns. And I just want to say I love how you run hard. I mean, it takes like 4 or 5 guys to tackle you. And, I just love to see you running the game this week, because we're going to need it.
Yes, sir. We'll do. Yeah, it's all basically all is just executing, me doing my job, other people doing their job, and
right.
Our defense plays a really big part in it. Our defense overall has been really good, and that's been helping us like get better field position and stuff like that.
Yeah, no question. Yeah. And you went into the season not really knowing for sure what your role would be. It was a crowded backfield, and I feel like that Hilton Head game was where you kind of took control and showed like I'm the guy. Like, just give it to me. And since then, you've been rolling. You're over 1,000 yards now, 19 touchdowns. What was it for you that kind of locked in at that point in the season where you recognized that this was your role to take and you needed to step up?
Like the point of the season where I told myself I needed to step up is so I was like, I play baseball like mainly, and
Yep.
after playoffs and stuff, they have like spring and everything, and I couldn't make it to like any spring practices or anything like that. And travel baseball also like intertwined with my like summer football practices,
Yeah.
and that allowed me to like miss like couple like days off and stuff like that for summer ball, and that really like told me that I need to start working harder to get this spot and show like my coaches that I can like really like be a factor on this team. And once like the Fort D game, I had like 3 carries and a touchdown, and the touchdown was like in a critical situation, and I was like, yeah, I can definitely like be like a really big factor on this team, especially like in the Hilton Head game where we had to like face a bunch of adversity and come back and win that game.
Yeah, tell me more about the schedule and especially early on in the season, how much you were challenged. You had to, go up against a couple of solid 5A teams to begin the season. What did you guys as a whole learn from that, especially that Fort D game where you guys had a lot of adversity throughout, came up short, but just used it to better yourselves in the end. So, and similar to that state championship year last year, you guys have done a good job, scheduling tough matchups to really push yourselves and build yourselves to compete in these 3-day playoffs once again.
Yeah, I just feel like our scheduling tough teams at the beginning of the season, pretty much like we can see how like we can like humble ourselves and see that we need to work on certain like areas or aspects of the, and that for me that like it helps our team overall because we always have to progress every day, every week. Our main goal of practice is to get better every day, every week, and that also helps with like our mentality that if we lose 1 or 2 times, we have the mentality we can't lose again, we can't lose again, we can't lose again, and that like boosts like that motivates us, and also like brings the team together, like our chemistry as well. Like I feel like we have a pretty like solid squad, and our chemistry is really on par.
Sorry, I'm living and dying with this soccer game that we're watching at the same time. USCB and Lander and double OT in the Peach Belt tournament, and I don't think it would even matter who was playing. Like, it's intense soccer happening right now. I'm getting distracted, but no, Jaden, it's been a terrific to watch you this season, and I like you said, you're a baseball guy first, sort of, and that's where I first saw you, and I'm a baseball guy first. So, but man, I've seen something come out in you this football season that, like, if you play baseball with the same tenacity that you're running the ball with right now, I think we could see something pretty special. So not to get ahead of yourself, but how excited are you for baseball season this spring?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited. Like played my senior year of baseball, and like right now, I feel like I've probably been like the best I've ever been so far, like my whole like career, and I've just always been trying to work harder because I've been like kind of having like a couple injuries, like wrist injuries.
Goodness.
Yeah, that was bananas.
Keep going.
Sorry, go ahead. Wrist injuries.
So I've been having like a couple like injuries or whatever, so I haven't really been like practicing as much. But yeah, I'm just really excited for the season, and hopefully it's gonna be a good year.
I know, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jaden. I was gonna say your grandpa. That's your grandpa that goes to the games, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love your grandpa. He brings so much enthusiasm and gets the crowd fired up. So I love that. But he's proud of you, and I just hope y'all are ready against Crestwood. That's gonna be tough, but I think y'all can do it. What do you think about that game?
I feel Crestwood is a very good team, and I feel like if we do our job and just be more physical than them, we'll ultimately come out with the win. And we just have to rely on, because they have a really good offense. If our offense is on point, just make plays, we'll ultimately come out on top, and that's pretty much what we got to do.
Yeah.
Well, your defense has really risen to the challenge these last few years, especially, last season, and, you got a lot of those guys back. I mean, Will Cotting's still there. You got Dom Camacho, big play Dom. The pieces in the core of last year, obviously, you don't have Colton Ferris, who really was a difference maker, but, a bunch of supporting guys who were so key last year to making stuff happen are still there. What does it mean to you to have those, and just reflect as a whole of so many guys on this squad, like, who were part of that magical run last year and beat it back, and how important it is to be able to know that you have the will and the stamina to play all 15 games and go all the way to that state title game.
So like the kids, like the defensive players and like everyone else that's like been playing in like last year's state championship team, they've been making like a big role on our team overall, and we have leaders such as like Caleb Omer, he's a great leader.
Yep.
James, awesome leader. They've been really like motivating our team, keeping us in check, keeping us out of trouble. And the kids that are I also like the new kids that are here, especially like, so we have some people that are brought from like JV, like Ty Leak, and we have also like a new kid like Stewie. They also been stepping up and learning their goals, and also bringing the team as a whole, because they play hard, they have the right mindset. And also kids like Isaac Smalls, he's literally, I don't know what to say. He's his focus and like motivation like will inspire people a lot. And
he's got a high motor, man. He goes hard all the time. Hard.
Hey guys,
for
some penalty kicks.
We're going to PKs. We're going to PKs. It's crazy. No, it's I get the sense that you guys not invincibility, but like there's just a confidence that you've won so many playoff games in a row. Then even going back before that, you take away the one state championship game, like you haven't lost in the lower state playoffs in 2 years. So there has to be a little bit of confidence and swagger about like when you go out on Friday night, like, look, ain't nobody done this in a long time. So take your best shot.
And you've gone the road. You got the road win at Dillon last year. Yeah. I mean, that was
so I guess I guess just talk about that mindset and that confidence that comes with the success that you guys have had.
Like our mindset, well, really our coaches, we don't try to like dwell on the past, because like they don't really like talking about last year we won state championship last year.
Sure.
Mindset right now is like fixed on what we can do this year and how can we like progress mainly. And I feel like our confidence right now, like we have enough we're very confident in our ability, and all we do is just show that confidence on the field and just execute, really. And I don't doubt anyone on the team at all. Like all the players on the team, they're good kids, athletic. They can do literally anything on the field. And I believe that like all of 3A, we still have the most skilled, like individuals out of like 3A so far. And
I agree.
Yeah, I think a lot of it stems from the coaches, Bryce Lavin, but that tremendous coaching staff behind them that do just so many incredible, aspects of what it takes to be a well-sound, fundamentally coached team. So just Jaden, tell me, we know a lot about Coach Lavin, but tell me about some of the other guys and what they do behind the scenes to get you guys ready for this type of intense playoff football every week, and to be ready and prepared to go out there and give your best shot.
All right, so another coach, like our offensive coordinator, Coach Powell, he when we're in film and anything, he keeps us like focused and motivated, and just tells us that like it's like our film is just running backs and like O linemen and stuff like that. And he just tells us, like, one thing he says is you start fast and finish strong. And that means that we gotta start fast, keep going all the way through the game, and just not like die out at the end of the game. And that really like shows that we need to have that like mentality to keep going and finish strong at every game. Even if we lose, even if we win, it doesn't matter. We still have to finish strong. And another coach in mind is Coach White. Before games, he gets us fired up, motivates us, and honestly, like brings our like team morale up. Like right before games and stuff, gets us hype, gets us going, and that for me like shows how like much the coach is like passionate for us, and allows us to like better ourselves.
Every team's got to have a hype man. I mean, you got to have a hype
Yeah.
man. Somebody got to get you fired up, and sometimes that same guy's got to be the one who brings you back down when you need to be brought back down. Get your head right, but you got to know when to push which button. But we appreciate you, man, and congratulations again on a great season thus far. And we can't wait to see how far you guys can take it. Good luck Friday at Crestwood.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All
good
right,
luck
take
and
care,
go
Jaden.
Eagles.
Go
Good
Eagles.
kid, man. I like Jaden.
Yeah.
First time we had him on here.
Yeah,
that was
he's
fun.
a good kid.
But we definitely got to watch this penalty shootout here. I'll tell
We
you
got,
about our sponsors while we're doing it. We'll talk about our varsity sponsors. DDS Web Design is the official SEO expert of LowcoSports. We're all online all the time, and when we're searching for products or stores, we just pop it into Google, looking for restaurant near me. So if you want to get that organic search, you got to have good SEO built into the back end of your website, and DDS Web Design can build you a site with all those features built in as we look at the first penalty
Can you
kick.
hear us?
So hit them up at ddshhi.com. Here we go.
Runs up.
It's good.
Of course.
Let's go.
All right.
The Parker Law Group, our friends at the Parker Law Group, have been
yeah.
serving folks with their legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties for years, and we appreciate their support to allow us to continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowcountry, and fans like one time our good friend and Gerald Freeman out in Hampton County. One time, actually, a Jasper County guy. We might see him Friday night at Lowco on location at Jay's Barber Shop in Ridgeland, because that's where one time gets his haircut, believe it or not. Here we go. Stop it, Oral. Oh, man, she almost got it. She guessed right, but just a little late. Just a little late.
That was
she put a lot of mustard
right
on that one.
Right near that left corner.
That one. Oh, I can get
it's all about, as a goalkeeper in penalty, it's all about guessing the right way. It is a tremendously difficult task to make. I mean, if you make 1-2 saves, I mean, that's what you got to do as a keeper. You can't expect to make all of them, but if you can make at least a couple, you give your team a really good shot to win.
Middle and high.
Yeah.
There's Mari.
Cohen gets
to there's the moment for call that.
Wrong. Covington with it 1-1.
Oh,
beautiful.
Yes,
Great.
I love the Sallies. Sometimes you forget they're like 18 to 22-year-olds, right? Like,
yes.
On their first two.
Love the emotion. That's
like this isn't the World Cup. These are just kids.
So Justin, one time lives in
Austinson.
the Hampton County games.
Yeah, he goes to the Hampton County games. He's a Jasper guy. We learned this at the thing Friday night. He's a Jasper guy, but his nephews play for Hampton County. That's why he's a Hampton County fan.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, we knew his nephews played for him, but we didn't realize he lived in Jasper. He's
cool.
a Jasper guy.
Okay.
Oh, we got.
All right, here we go.
Oh, we're tagging.
Well,
on our
here
left
foot.
Save!
Yeah.
Whoa!
And USCB
popped it up and secured it. Man, she is strong. She is strong.
She's got a great build. That one, that kind of made me chirp for a second because it looked like that was going to go off or into the.
I thought it was going to
pop
up and spin over. I thought it was
I remember there was a high school league state championship game where it went to penalty kicks and the goalie made the save and it bounced back into the net. I don't know if you remember that, but
sophomore.
You just never know.
I did see that. Here we go.
All right.
This is huge. This is huge.
2-1 Sand Sharks trying to stretch the lead.
To go upper 90.
Wow.
Where Mama hides the cookies.
Pocket.
And now the Bearcats.
Let's go. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, that was
real
well
pressure.
placed.
Hayes Cohen gets the right.
That was nice.
A better shot by
it is almost impossible to save a shot at
No, that
caliber.
was impossible. That was impossible. I mean, she guessed right and was on time, and she had no chance. That thing was a missile.
Yeah.
Have counted on most throughout now her 3 seasons here at Lander.
Here we go. Look at Courtney.
Desperately needs this one to go. Piazza delivers.
Oh, Piazza.
Froze her.
It was a
She must have froze her with the eyes.
To stare down.
She must have been looking one way and then gone the other way because she locked her up.
Grayson Asher, the 5'5" freshman.
Who's this?
Here.
Hayes Cohen against her keeper counterpart with the season on the line.
Wait, the keeper? Oh, is that Worrell?
Tournament. From the spot.
Interesting.
Oh.
Grayson
Asher, yeah, she's a goalkeeper.
Oh, the backup keeper.
And she scored, yeah. Wow.
Is she
that?
ambidextrous?
Oh,
Is
Jay
she ambidextrous?
What have you cooked up, my man?
Did she just fake like she was going right-footed and then go left-footed? Is that what just happened?
Yeah.
That's what I thought I saw.
That's what it looked like, yeah.
Like finger guns or something. Oh, this is great.
All right. Well, St.
D2 Sports.
Sports. Win here the save.
Nobody else cares
This
about
is
this
a
right now, but it is epic.
All right, Worrell, come on.
Sexton.
Squirted through.
Man.
Oh.
So now we got to have some ice in the veins to seal
Oh, boy.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Hayes Cohen needs a save.
Who's it going to be?
Who's this? 7?
Against
Christian's daughter, 7.
Oh, Christian's daughter.
Yet. She scored the game-winning penalty
daughter.
very early on the season.
Iceland.
And now she has a chance to send the Sand Sharks
Transfer from Troy.
Christian's
Ice in the
daughter.
Veins.
With USCB leading
Christian will be so
4-3,
proud of
chance to
his
make it
daughter.
5-3.
Here it comes.
And to move
Rolling
on.
the shot.
Oh, no!
Wow.
Man.
Baby! Bearcats
Oh,
stay
beautifully
alive.
timed.
Oh, man, this is hype.
Oh, my goodness.
Man.
This is hype.
Now,
Wow.
Lander
Needed to elevate it a little
chance
more.
to
Comes down to Marin White.
extend.
A chance to
Worrell can be the hero, though.
Yup.
Yep.
Orwell Worrell.
Is it Worrell or
Got a stop
Worrell?
to it.
I don't know. But she's
All
good.
right. Can the goalkeeper be the hero?
Marin White
Oh, boy.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
on her right foot.
Shot.
Oh,
she
right
scores.
we're going.
Man.
We're going.
And it's
Go
We're
there.
going again.
innings.
Shootout. It's a brand new ball game.
This is
Twists and
wonderful.
turns galore.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
Jimmy, how'd you enjoy talking with Jaden Andrews?
Yeah, I like that. Man, Jaden Andrews has impressed me this year, and he seems like he's a good kid.
Yeah, definitely.
I love talking to his. Have you ever talked to his
Yeah.
grandpa at the games?
No, but it sounds like he might be in the same vein as one time, so I might need to get to know him. If he's the guy entertaining everybody in the crowd, we need to become friends.
The shootout. has
Yeah,
been
he always
extended.
paints his face and carries the big Buford flag around.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely
Fresh
have
set of
to
players
get
in
to
for
know
the
him.
Sand Sharks.
All right,
Who we got?
you know better than I do. Man, they had it sealed up.
Yeah. Oh, all they needed was one goal.
Just need one more. I feel like that's a momentum swing too.
Yeah, that's huge.
When you miss the dagger and the other team
Yes.
like staves off elimination, I feel like they have
Up
the
against Leah
momentum
Hayes
now.
Cohen. Cohen fresh off a save. A save for now that has extended the
Yeah, I've been
season for
impressed
Lander.
with their goalie, Cohen. Wow, she's
Estevez
incredibly quick and
Hey.
athletic.
Oh,
on
Estevez.
her right foot.
Got her.
Full
Oh!
against Cohen. Buried it in the
That was
right
a
side
tremendous
netting.
penalty.
And now Claire
Puts the
Regnall
pressure
has a chance for
on Lander.
And it's
Nobody's
tough
misfired
to
yet.
miss.
Everybody's put it on frame, which is impressive.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
French
especially in
native
this
Easy.
type of nerves.
It's easy to overcook
Yeah.
one at this
Oh,
point.
we see it at the
has
highest
been-
level
Wambach.
sometimes.
Wambach had one.
Wambach,
She
like,
charred
I mean,
one.
Wambach.
She charred one. Roasted.
The pressure at an all-time high. Regnall versus Worrell. And
Ah.
Regnall
Oh,
able to
man.
extend once more.
I feel like Worrell commits. She tries to commit really late, and that way, but she's like already leaning. So when she guesses wrong, she's just frozen.
Jenny Hesby next up for the Sand Sharks. Hayes Cohen has one save. So does
Never know what's
Worrell.
going to happen on the lowdown.
Yeah.
This game could have ended in regulation, and we didn't pay it much mind. We just talked about what happened. Instead, we're watching the whole thing. Never know. Never know.
The everlasting contest between
The
two
everlasting
teams.
contest.
It's Hesby
Oh, that's perfect.
squared away.
Oh no!
Oh, she saves it.
She's
Oh,
a hero,
man.
man. She's really good.
Man.
Wow, that's
It's-
And the
it's-
freshman,
that's it.
Riley King,
Pressure's
making her
on
way
now.
How
to
about
the
that?
spot.
How about that freshman goalkeeper? That is something.
Oh, is she
one
a freshman?
save.
I think they were saying this is a freshman who's coming to try to seal it. They said the freshman Riley King to the spot.
Quite a
I
moment
don't know.
for
That
her.
keeper's really good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is good.
She's really good. She almost saved a couple more.
Riley King from the penalty spot.
Oh, the nerves got to be at an all-time high.
We're tied up at
Is that
5.
Bracken
but
in the
that could
background
change
shooting
at
video?
any moment.
It's not, but
Riley King. Wins it
Oh,
for
she
the
scored.
Bearcats. They're moving on.
Bearcats.
Lander.
Dang.
What a
Wow. Had it.
heartbreaking
Had it.
defeat
Let it get away.
for the Sand Sharks.
Man.
Ouch.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a
that is a tremendous season
devastating.
coming to a screeching end. And
man.
that's just something you hate to see.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker. Heartbreaker for
Yeah.
the Sand Sharks, but that means we can shift gears.
Heartbreak
back
City
into,
is the famous March
indeed.
Madness line. Heartbreak City.
What
I
happened
don't
to
remember that
Robbie?
one.
Robbie disappeared. But we can watch some Loco lights now, boys. Now that the football match is over. We did not want to leave that. That was
Oh man.
disappointing but epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
All
that
right,
was
let's
really
watch some
fun.
Local lights.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Jay. Wrestling season coming up. You know it.
Oh yeah, we're
Couldn't
getting
believe it.
close.
I got a wrestler too. We just had wrestling practice at McCracken today. We'll be in the gyms. You know it. Absolutely. We love us some wrestling. Jaden Andrews should wrestle, by the way. I don't know if he
Yeah,
does, but he should.
He would make a good wrestler.
Very good. And speaking of Jaden
Did you
Andrews,
ever wrestle, Justin?
oh yeah, from age 5 through my sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
And then I was on a team in Kansas that was a state championship caliber team, and I couldn't crack the lineup, and it wasn't worth the work for 5 JV matches. So I decided to do other things in the winter. I went to all the matches, but I didn't wrestle anymore after that. But that was my sport growing up. I loved wrestling
Yeah.
and baseball. Jaden Andrews,
It's,
Joy
yeah,
Peeler
Restless
with the
is great.
video.
yeah.
And then we got Hampton
Hampton
County.
County. Canes.
Got
Oh,
one
one
time,
time
leading them
leading the charge. Oh yeah.
Leading out his dogs.
Oh
His
yeah.
dogs.
Where my dogs at?
Where my
Where my
dogs
dogs?
Where my dogs at? Brotherhood on 3. 1, 2, 3. Brotherhood. we got and then we got
We've
Cody
got
Seegers
Benson
and
County's
Trenton
fans
Robinson.
terrific.
Oh yeah, they're the best. They're amazing. Zion. This is where Zion gets banged. He gets hit low and he gets up. Kind of pulls at his hamstring, but it looked like he got hit in the back of the leg somehow. And he kept going. Like, they kept him out in the second half just to keep him fresh, but he was okay. And then Jazz Goins. That's my guy. He was one of my first friends at Estill last year. And then Zion catches a touchdown pass. Don't see that every day, but occasionally.
Yeah,
occasionally.
I remember
from time to time. And then he runs one in. So he gets to ring the bell.
Justin, you think Zion could win Mr. Football? You think he's got a good chance?
I mean, I think it's an outside shot just because of who he's up against and where he's from and all that. But I think if he keeps doing what he's doing and they make a run, then I think they're going to have to take a look at him.
Now, in terms of
I agree.
Oh, man, how is he able to stay?
I mean, he's as good as anybody I've seen in a long time, man. He's really, really good.
Yeah, really refined. Hayden Shin was outstanding his career. They've had some good.
Oh no, I was talking about Zion still, but Dylan's becoming. He's getting better all the time.
Yeah.
He had a monster game. 10 for 16 for 171 and 4 touchdowns, 6 for 91 and 2 touchdowns.
Oh man,
kind of stupid. I only had Dietrich Schuford highlights, but they were not bad. But Jackson Porter went for 37 for 215 and 2 touchdowns and some heroic effort. Look at that. That was nuts. Freelancing.
Yeah.
And then here's a nice one to Fripp.
I'll tell you what, I think they got a real shot against Williamsburg. I think they, they're coming into the underdogs.
Is different.
It's more of a he said more of a freelance schoolyard, where you spread everybody out, and I think it's working for them. But certainly Williamsburg has some dudes, Camden Moore, alongside others who can absolutely ball on defense. Teague Ward, yeah, that's
Patrick Henry boys.
Oh yeah.
I believe that's Alan Berg coming through and getting jacked up there. And then you got the ferry to ferry connection.
Ferry to ferry.
Farrah to Farrah. Got to hang out with Miss Ferry. The thing. And then you got Tony O'Banner, who did Tony O'Banner things. 20 for 350 and 6 touchdowns. 3 for 8 for 59. Touchdown and interception.
My God.
It's just kind of
Big
silly.
Man on campus.
It's kind of silly.
He is just dominant right there in
look
class.
at that block.
Size and
that's a
man among boys.
He's a good player.
There are a few,
Pinkney. Pinkney.
Oh, look at that breakaway speed. He's still going.
No, he doesn't have breakaway speed. He's a lot of things, but he doesn't have breakaway speed. But Tony will get it in for you.
Short. Tony will
get it in for you. He'll bulldoze the door down. Tony's stupid.
There it is right there.
There's me.
Oh.
Womp womp. No, I'm gonna go see Hayward on Friday. I haven't seen them all year, which is just weird. It's just worked out that way. I was gonna see them at Patrick Henry, but then I got hired to do Whale Branch for SAV, so I haven't seen them. But it'll be them and Lee, which we've seen many times before, usually for the state championship. So that should be good. But we're gonna go see Jay from the comment.
Thomas Hayward's playing better ball though, aren't they? I mean, they're looking good.
Whoa.
Yeah,
they're the number one seed. I
don't
know why they wouldn't win it. Like, I mean, they look like the best team to me
they crushed Patrick Henry to end the season.
And Dorchester.
And Dorchester. And those are really the top 2 teams left. So if you look on paper, and if Tony O'Banner stays healthy, which is of course the number one factor in all this, I think Hayward's the best team, and the way the defense has excelled and grown as well, that's a big part of it too. But to Tony McGarry, he is doing what a great story. I mean, someone who comes back to the Lowcountry, coaching over in the West Coast, over in Utah, and That's really cool to see him come. And
Yeah, it is.
I don't think anyone respected this. I mean, obviously you lose Shuford and a bunch of other guys from what you saw last year, and you forget about Tony O'Banner and what he was able to do, and just the growth of his game, put him at quarterback, and he becomes
keeping him there. I mean, just
yeah.
keeping him there was yeoman's
Yeah.
work, and
Yeah.
you know, everybody that was involved in making sure he had an environment where he felt comfortable to stay. Because I think that was everybody's biggest fear was when
Right.
Tony leaves, we got nothing.
Right.
And that wasn't necessarily true, but that's what everybody thought, you know, was, well, if Tony leaves,
Yeah,
it's
they
over.
did think that.
Yeah, they definitely did. And you know, with him still being there, that was enough to keep them competitive. And then, you know, I think bringing Tyree in, he's just, I mean, I talked to the kids the other night about what an influence he has been on them this year. And I just think the mentality, mindset, and work ethic that he's brought has, you know, probably even added on to what they have had there in the past, which has always been a pretty high level of work ethic. So, and then I think that he also is the smartest dude out there every Friday night. Like the adjustments that he's able to make at halftime to shut out BA in the second half after giving up 28 in the first half. Like not everybody on a Skeeza sideline has that ability, and he does. So, you know, I like them to, like you said, if Tony stays upright and he can run, like if he can run, then I like them to win it. If he can't run, then all bets are off. But as long as he can run, I like them to win it. In 1A, I do think BA has a shot at Williamsburg this week. They're a little different. So we're able to score 41 on BA.
Yeah.
Banner just scores at will, and nobody wanted. But yeah, exactly right.
Really is. No one's
Exactly
found a way to stop him.
It's Cam Newton. He's Cam
it's
Newton.
Just whatever you try to do, you just can't stop him. And that's,
well, there's only, let's be real, most Skeeza teams, there's like 4 guys on the defense who can legitimately tackle him one-on-one at most.
Right.
Like there's like 7 guys that have no chance one-on-one. None. He's just gonna go and they're gone. And he's only a sophomore. It's stupid. It's just stupid. But no, I think BA has a shot. They're you know, that was their first full game without Devontae, right? That Williamsburg game, I want to say, coming off HHCA. So they were still settling into this new look. I think that's a competitive game. Hilton Head Christian at Pinewood is going to be really good.
That's going to be a
good game.
Yeah, 2 high-powered
Really
offenses.
good.
We could see our scoring. Although Hilton Head Christian Academy, that defense has been tough, hard-nosed. You got a ton of veterans on that group, and they're going to make it tough. And Tucker Tivapau, I think, is going to be a big factor with the ability to play the pass, and what could be a high-powered offensive slugfest on both sides. I think Eagles will be able to find a couple of breaks of serve and be able to get the difference that way, because Tivapau, he can play, and he lives for these types of games. I just think Christian Academy is a little bit more, but it's a challenge going up there on the road. And Devontae Holloman, he's been a thorn the last time we saw him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So,
no doubt. Well, BA, I think the last time we saw him, BA beat him earlier this season. So
I saw JP2 play him. He came to JP2.
So he got us then.
Yeah.
But the big one was Buford High, obviously, in South Point. That was the big stinger.
Yeah.
That was the one that hurt. Yeah.
And that would hurt bad.
So Hampton Andrews, I believe, is where you're going to go, Wes.
Yeah.
Jelly.
Jelly.
Where are you going to go eat? You going to go to Rigdon's or Hurricanes?
I don't know. Rigdon's or Hurricane Bar. I got to make a decision. I think
you'll be taking care of either place, maybe. Definitely at Hurricanes.
Definitely, that's what I was thinking. I'm sure Hurricanes, they got some great people over there. Nice tailgate atmosphere. And
right there. Yeah, well, and I'm sure there'll be a bunch of Hurricanes fans in there too before the game. So you might see some of our friends. Might run into one time.
Hey.
G Daddy.
Yeah.
Jimmy, do you remember a fellow from Wade Hampton named George Orr? AKA
Yeah, I do
D-Dad?
remember that name. Yeah.
We met him the other night.
Did you?
His son played for the Harlem Globetrotters for a while.
Wow.
Man. That's cool.
Yep, we met him.
Man.
Jay says Pinewood is tough. I believe in Toddy though. He's been in the shop a couple times. The ship
in
a
the
couple
shop.
times. He's just had a great. I think he meant the ship. But,
yeah.
Just had a great mindset. Yeah, so and I think Toddy's starting to settle into the offense now.
Did they have good food?
Oh, it was great. Had a nice spread out there.
Yeah, they hooked us up, man. Austin brought us out a nice platter, a sampler platter with some fried pickles, which were primo. Cheese curds, and what else did we have on there? Something else. Onion rings, and we had fries. We got some bird dogs, which are, the hot dog bun with the chicken tenders with bacon and cheese and wing sauce. Those were legit. Everything looked good. It was solid.
Yeah.
We had a good time. Lots of people came out. Yeah, you'll have to check it out. I mean, Rigdon's is hard to pass up.
Rigdon's great too. Yeah.
Real good. Real good. But you can't eat Rigdon's every day or you'll die for sure. Your heart will explode. But Jimmy, what about that Buford game? Crestwood was scary last year, and I remember thinking like, holy cow, almost everybody's back. This team's going to be really dangerous. And they definitely have been this year. But how do you feel like as far as matchups? Jaden mentioned being more physical. I think that's key. They're kind of more of that spread type team that maybe doesn't like to get hit too much. You got to light them up over the middle a couple times and make them think about it. And so I think your secondary needs to play, tough and aggressive, but obviously not get burned. But what do you think are kind of the keys for Buford?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The secondary defensive backs, they're going to have to keep the receivers in front of them and don't let them get the big plays. I was just looking at the statistics. Javion Martin, the Crestwood quarterback, he's thrown the ball for almost 2,100 yards this year. And he's one of the better quarterbacks I've seen, in South Carolina high school.
I was really impressed with him last year in the playoffs. He's impressive. They will throw it up a little bit though if you can make plays.
Yeah. You got some guys. The secondary's definitely improved for Buford. Of course, Tom Camacho has been a major part of that. But there's some other guys that have been able to step in and hold their own. So defense, they have that capability in them. And Liburn's teams always know how to perform at this point of the season, make adjustments. And I think Crestwood's, there's their nerves that set in because this Buford team, they know they've been there before. They know what this team is capable of. They saw them last year. So I think Buford kind of feed off that energy, especially if they get off to a good start.
Well, I think that go either way, really. Like, I think the start matters because I think for Crestwood, if they get off to a hot start, they're like, this ain't going to be like last year. We're going to finish it. But if they get off to a bad start, it's like, oh man, these are the guys who beat us last year. Like the emotions can really go either way in a hurry.
Yeah.
So I think quick starts, and that's been a problem for Buford. The slow starts they're worrisome. That goes for a while now.
Yeah, they got away with it a couple times last year, but you can't, especially against a team that is a little bit more refined and a Buford squad that lost a couple of guys. You don't want to keep going to that scenario. And I think it definitely nerves me just because of how good this Crestwood team has looked and how inconsistent Buford has been. But I thought this last week was a good step forward. I thought they played a solid all-around game. Just from looking at some of the updates, obviously Jaden told us there were some execution problems.
Well, they were down 13-0. Yeah, they were down 13-0 and then scored 30 unanswered. So
that's,
like you can't get down 13-0 on Crestwood.
No,
you don't want to have to try to play uphill against them.
That's no go.
I agree with y'all. Buford needs to start the game out strong and not wait until the second half. But it was 13-0 Loris with about 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. But after that, it was all Buford. I think that Loris only had 1 first down and six total yards in the second half. So
Wow.
Buford played better in the
Lock them down. Yeah, if they can
Yeah.
keep that up, hitting obviously a tougher opponent with that high-powered Crestwood offense, but yeah, they got to be feeling good heading into
I'll
this
tell
week.
you, Rob Gorel makes really good halftime adjustments too. He and Lyman are both excellent at that. That whole staff, they make great halftime adjustments. And for me, that's one of the biggest keys in high school football, especially in an evenly matched game. Who can make the better adjustments at halftime and win the chess match going into the second half is often a big factor.
You just look back at what Buford did in that semifinal or the Lower State final against Dillon, and in a tight game. I thought the second half was when they really pulled away against Powdersville in the championship. So, and we've seen it once again with their ability to come from behind. But I mean, this Crestwood team, it certainly scares you. You're going to have to figure some things out quickly. But if you hang around and it's close, you got to give an edge there to Buford and their ability to learn from what this opposing team does, because we've seen it before, and it's something that Bryce Libran does so well. And a lot of these veterans, these seniors, so these upperclassmen, they know what it takes to come from behind, and that's a nice factor that you want to have in the playoffs. So I'm certainly not counting out this Buford team. I will give if I was to pick the game, I'd probably go Crestwood, but I think this Eagles team's capable of doing it, and the coaches have some big reason why.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah. I would probably go Crestwood, but I'm not convinced of it at all. Not with much conviction. Not with a lot of conviction.
No, I agree. If I was an outsider, I would go with Crestwood, but I think it's going to be a close game. I'm expecting like a 35-31 or some type of game like that. What do y'all think about that?
That sounds about right to me. I mean,
30 or so points probably wins it.
Yeah. I could see definitely that. Even like a 41-35 or something like that. Like I could see it getting pretty high scoring. I think Buford will try to shorten the game a little bit and keep it on the ground early,
especially
try to just limit the possessions for as long as they can. But then, obviously if they have to play from behind, they got to loosen it up a little bit. But I think that's the name of the game, is just keep it out of their hands as much as possible, because they can score from anywhere. And then limit the big plays, make them take as many plays as you can to get into the end zone in hopes that they throw one up or you force a turnover or something like that. That's got to be the name of the game. But they're definitely a dangerous and well-coached team. I was really impressed with them last year. And Buford was really fortunate to get out of that game with a win. Colton Ferris had to do some heroic stuff for them to win that game.
And then the next game, too, it seemed like it was either a kickoff return or a long touchdown run. That was something spectacular that
it was ridiculous. I wonder if you're still watching over there, Jay, who you got in Patrick Henry Dorchester. Dorchester won the first one, but that's an interesting matchup, because that came out of nowhere. I felt like Stricklander told us that Patrick Henry just didn't show up for that one, kind of like when Buford went to Philip Simmons and just didn't go up, and it happens. And so I think Patrick Henry will be fired up for a rematch with Dorchester. They don't like them guys very much. And the feeling is mutual. But yeah, it should be a good one. We only got 6 left so quickly.
I know. I hope we have some that make it to the championship games.
Well, we should have. We should have some next week at Charleston Southern for Skeeza, and then I think Hampton County. You can't count Buford, obviously, but I think Hampton County has the best shot out of the 2 high school league teams remaining. I think they should take care of Andrews. Timberland could be a little bit of a challenge.
No, Timberland's out. Timberland lost. Yeah, they lost. They sure did.
Wow.
I would tell you if I could remember. But they did lose.
I don't remember,
So it's Andrew Jackson against it was Kingstree. It was Kingstree that beat them.
Kingstree.
Which wasn't that surprising to me, because that coach there is really good. That coach is really good.
Even so, I think it sets up really well for them. especially
they'd have Andrews and then probably Andrew Jackson. Yeah.
The funny thing is,
and I'm not convinced
Hampton County
that Oceanside gets out. Go ahead.
The only thing is Hampton County put, I think they put the schedule, the first 3 games of the playoffs. They had Timberland next, and then they lost.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have even had. No, they had Andrews. They have Andrews. Oh, they had Timberland on there. Well, Timberland would have had to beat Andrew Jackson to get to him. That's funny.
This is funny.
But I think they did have their eye on Timberland. So it's Hampton and Andrews will be a good matchup. And then if they get through there, Hampton and either you assume Andrew Jackson. But then Oceanside, so Woodland knocked off Cheraw 34-33. So they play Oceanside this week, which is interesting. And then Barnwell Marion in the other quarterfinal over there. So I mean Barnwell, I could see Barnwell winning that game. And yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I think even against Oceanside, I think Hampton has the upper hand in that game. I just think that the defense is really setting in. We talked about Dobbs. The defense is really setting them apart over some of these other teams. I think Oceanside, and I think they had a big injury with their quarterback.
They did. ACL. So, he's done.
Yeah. I think it's playing out well for the Hurricanes on the lower state side of the bracket. I think they are the team to beat at this point.
I do too.
Yeah.
I truly do. What's the kid's name? The quarterback from Oceanside. He was a dude. He's like a Tebow type. Edward Riedenbach, I believe is the guy, right? Edward Riedenbach. So yeah, it's a big loss for them. I'm sure they have another guy, but he's not that guy. So that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. They may not make it there. Woodland will be a little bit of a problem this week. And then if they get through that, then next week against either Marion or Barnwell will be a real issue for them. I'd love to see Hampton get it at home because that's the best place.
Yeah,
that's the best place. Yep. Check out this highlight video from Loco on location. So you know what you were missing. There's one time.
Yeah.
There's Cody Seeger's mom, Rachel. She was lovely. There's Valerie, Mrs. One Time. Oh, Michael Tucker Matz's mom and the Freemans, Peoples. There's Chris Terry's aunt. There's G Daddy and Gerald Freeman. There's Wes commanding the mic, getting the crowd hyped up, man.
Oh yeah.
You are a true natural hype man. You played to them. You're like, we got the Hampton County Hurricanes in the house. There's G Daddy. There's George Orr, Jimmy. George Orr and Gerald Freeman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This is Gerald. She's lovely. Just wonderful people out there. There's Gerald. Gerald told us some stories. He told us about the brawl at Clarendon Hall. You ever heard about that, Jimmy? The brawl at Clarendon Hall. Apparently, there's been multiple brawls between Patrick Henry and Clarendon Hall over the years, but Gerald was a part of the first one.
Oh, okay.
He gave us a recounting of it, so that was fun. And one time he got up on stage with us. He put on a show.
Oh,
he put on a show. Oh, he's a mess. He's a whole mess. He was holding court, man. So he got going about storms coming. And then we got to the game and he had an umbrella hat on. And I didn't make the connection, but Chris Myers texted me and saw me on his way up to the press box and he goes, "Hey, Wes one time got an umbrella on his head. Is it because the storm's coming?" And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
He said it like 4 times at the pregame show. He was foreshadowing. Then G Daddy got up there and Miss Deb Terry. I don't remember what her last name is now, but she's a Terry. One of 6, if I recall correctly. We remarked that Chris Terry Jr. doesn't have to worry about breaking his daddy's records because it's a new book now. That was when George knocked over the bookcase and broke it. That was one of the highlights of the night. But it was an awesome turnout, and we really appreciate the folks.
That was a ton of
Hurricanes
fun.
for having us, feeding us G-Daddy. Yeah.
Yeah, we great people over there, and it's been fun to meet so many passionate fans, and just one of the benefits of expanding here. Obviously, when I came here, it was just Beaufort to Jasper, and then we expanded to Colleton and Hampton, and it's just been really cool to get so many new faces and teams in our coverage area.
Yeah.
It looks like it was a good crowd there.
Oh yeah, it was awesome, man. We had a great crowd, and Jay tells me that the town of Ridgeland is hype about this, and we're gonna have a great turnout Friday night. So 5 to 6:30. I know you'll be on the road to Crestwood, but it should be a good time. Hopefully, folks will come out.
I won't make that one, but I hope to make some more that you do.
Oh, for sure. We're going to make it a thing now. Now that we know people will come, we're definitely going to do more of these. You never want to make an event and nobody shows up, but now that we know that people will show up, we'll definitely do more. Yep. But we had a great time last night or yesterday with the waves.
Do some videos.
Parents versus kids. Yep. Parents versus kids baseball game with the 13U Waves last night. Yesterday. There's me grounding out to third. I'm getting down the line, though. Almost beat it.
Good 90.
And then Declan pops out to his dad. That's cool. Tiffany Kyle, the only mom on the team, burns the center fielder.
Wow.
She holds up with a single, but it scores 2 runs, and the Rents take a 2-1 lead.
Nice.
We do this the last practice every season, but this was the first time I feel like we played our hardest and barely won. That was Brooksy
getting better.
With the knock. Yeah, they're getting a lot better. Osterbruni gets a knock off his pops. We had to use BB core or wood, but that's me again. I was intentionally hitting a ground ball to the right side with a runner on third in less than 2 outs. Practicing what I preach. Got the job done. And then Brooks Bazemore sparks a rally. Our defense kind of fell apart for 1 inning. They took there's Truman. It's a little Texas leaguer, finds a hole. Landon was tagging up, but he's going to score easily as it drops in. And then Pete comes in to pitch, and man, they hammered the lefty. That's Nico with a knock off his pops.
Oh,
man, kids getting hits off their dads when they're trying to get them out is kind of embarrassing. I did get Truman out, and then Pete gets his revenge with the 3-run bomb off the wood bat. Cuts it to 9-6. The Parents are back in it. Pete did hit leadoff for, I believe, Central Connecticut State back in the day, so he's got a little juice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a little juice. I'm going to knight him with the bat at home plate. Here I go. I was trying to knight him. He didn't understand what was happening. Infield and here I am. Oh, chopper, but nice play over there. Nice play over there to get the force, but then slamming Sterling smokes the outfield. He's a golf pro, people. If you can hit a golf ball 300 yards, you don't want to disrespect him. I score from first with the winning run. Parents win it. 11-10.
Wow.
Probably the last time
Parents.
we ever get them. It was the most fun. It was so fun, but it was awesome.
It's great at this age where it's really competitive when those kids start to get to that next level with their.
It's probably the last time we get them, honestly. Like it was tough. If we went to 60 feet, they might have beat us because I don't know if we could have thrown strikes from 60 feet. They definitely could. We did 54. And if we didn't have Pete and his 3-run bomb, we would have been lost. But we also had not a dad, but mom's significant other. So I guess stepdad, who was from Lithuania and had never played baseball, and he got a hit. So that was awesome. And he also hit into a double play. We were so excited when he hit a ground ball and put it in play, his second at bat, but he hit into a double play. And then he got to hit his next at bat. So that was awesome. Just introducing, I mean, he's watched the game, obviously, but he had never played the game at all. So it was really cool to introduce someone to the game
awesome.
stage. It was really cool. But, well, hey, guys, we got to name our athletes of the week, right? Our teams of the week.
Teams of the week, yeah.
Also got to shout out some more sponsors. The Lowco Booster Club. We got Prime IV Hydration and Wellness now open in Belfair Town Village. Go see Max and get your IV bag while you sit in the massage chairs, and then go over to Rooted Living Wellness to see Dr. Ambrose Cole. He will get you cracked up and feeling right. He'll spend extra time wherever your body needs it to leave you feeling better when you leave. Are we holding you hostage, Jimmy? Do you need to go?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. I saw you look off camera. I thought maybe your boss was telling you it's time to wrap it up. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. We got Chris Odom, who will get those floors so clean that your feet will thank you. Eagle Creations will get you hooked up with those last-minute items for your team or organization, or your promotional items that you need to get the word out about your business, as well as Proudly Southern gift baskets. And Court Lifestyle Pros, Lowcountry natives Daniel and Debbie Court, selling the Lowco Lifestyle and HHI. And now our teams of the week. Wes, who you got, buddy?
I'm going to go with Cross Country Trail. Bluffton Boys taking second in they're half of the odd or the even. Yeah, they're in the even.
The even race, whatever that means.
It's they break them up apart. They have even. I don't know what the.
They ceased doing lower state and upper state. They started putting everybody into one qualifier and doing odd and even.
But either way, Bluffton taking number 2. Yep. Erlon Baker leading the way. Tremendous 16:36, and then just a little over 17 minutes coming in are Boyd Collins, sophomore, and then junior Cooper Anderson. So tremendous performance right there at the top. And then you got those supporting runners right behind them. Eden Bryant with a strong 17:52. Killian Felixini, probably not saying that right, but solid 18:02 coming in 5th. So, the depth is really important in this kind of meets when you get to those last few runners make all the difference when it comes to the scores. So everyone's doing their job over there for Bluffton, and I'm impressed with what I'm seeing. I think this team is going to, they're to be second overall. They're just 5 points off from AC Florida, who came in first. They got to be right up there when you're looking at the state meet next week. Yeah,
right there for sure. Jimmy, you got a team of the week you want to shout out? Not to put you on the spot, but.
Oh, no, I got one. I was going to say the Bridges Prep girls volleyball team. I got a niece that plays for Bridges Prep. So they had a good season. I was hoping they would win the championship, but they had a great season, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Who's your niece? Shout her out.
Luna Brantley. Brantley.
Right. Great job.
Awesome.
Great job, Luna. And so that's on Kim's side, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim's side, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Luna and Bridges Prep. Yeah, that was a really fun team to cover, and brought Roger Wilson back into our lives, which is always a good time. I love that guy. And Tuman. Tuman's fun too.
Tuman's good.
Oh, yeah, he's a good time. Looking forward to some Bridges basketball, because I think those boys are going to be pretty good. Looking forward to that. I'll shout out that USCB soccer team. That was some inspired play in that match, and unfortunately it slips away. But that was I hadn't watched them for a period of time like that this season, and that was some intense soccer. That was really good stuff. So shout out to Jay Harris, who's really done a great job of building upon what was there when he took over, and seeing it through to the next level, taking it to the D2 level, and competing very well on the beach belt.
Just give a shout out to Mari Kalvan for a historic career.
Yeah,
it's tough to see it come to an end like that, but what a mark that she's left on that program.
No doubt. All right, fellas. Well, thanks so much for coming along for the ride. I think we can call it a night. We went well over time. Didn't even get to everything on the agenda because Robbie didn't show up. But we did all kinds of things. Thanks to Carlo Perruzza for catching us up on the fight game. Thanks to Jaden Andrews for jumping in. That was an outstanding interview. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for coming along for the ride. And thanks to everybody who showed up to listen or watch. Especially thanks to our sponsors for making it all possible. That's going to do it for this one. We will be back Thursday night. Tomorrow. No, you're off tomorrow night. It's next week. USCB All Access is next Tuesday after the opener on Saturday. So Saturday, USCB hoops at home against Morris College. What's this?
You'll be on the call.
3:30 and 5:30. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I will be on the call. I have it right here. I don't know why I'm saying that. 1:30 and 3:30 are the
1:30. So women 1:30 and men at 3:30. So a double header.
That's nice. Right. Yep. So come on out to the what do we call it? The Shark Tank, I guess. It's a baby Shark Tank right now. They're going to build it bigger later. They're going to need a bigger tank. But that one's not going to hold that many people. But so get there early so you can get in the building before the fire marshal shuts us down.
It's historical. That's it's cool. Yeah. It's cool to be. It's
awesome.
It's something you rarely see to have an inaugural game for a program.
Yeah, there'll be 200 people in there, and years from now, 10,000 people will say they were there.
Oh, that's you can always say I was there for the first one. So.
That's right. But only if you get there early. So we'll see you out there. But we'll also see you Thursday night for the Lowdown. And then we'll be back Friday for Lowco Game Day Live and Lowco Pigskin Live, as well as Lowco on location in Jay's Barbershop, 5 to 6:30 Friday night out in Ridgeland. Got Fiddlers across the street. Got a nice taco place right there. Got the sweets and treats or whatever across the street. There's all kinds of good food in downtown Ridgeland. It's actually hopping down there on Friday night. You should come check it out with us. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks, everybody. Till next time, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing.